up, guys? It's Alexander. Quick commentary on this one. I don't know if I'll take questions at the end, but I was asked by a gentleman in a direct message, and asked by a Cam Awesome actually as well. You all should be following Cam, by the way. But I was asked by Cam and a gentleman in regards to protein intake, and then also, what do I think of vegans or being vegan, veganism. For those of you guys that have followed me a while, I don't endorse diets, and I don't endorse dietary philosophies that are singular, where there is one perfect way to eat. There's a lot of ways to accomplish health through how you eat. There are principles to follow, and, all roads lead to Rome, so it comes down to a context, case-by-case, specific basis situation. In regards to veganism of in itself, vegans, obviously, there are the tropes and the stereotypes that they will always tell you that they're vegan. They can be annoying as fuck. There's a lot of caricatures that, come with being, I guess, a vegan, or, the general idea thereof. But being vegan as a basis for better health, being a vegan can be extremely healthy. It can. It absolutely can. Plant protein is, more or less good for you. Vegetables are good for you. Fruit is good for you. If you follow a, let's say, balanced vegan diet that is well designed and well laid out, and you fulfill your nutritional needs, yeah, you can be extremely healthy. There's no reason why you wouldn't be. Whether that is for you, or whether you want to follow that for ethical reasons, that's upon you. I'm a meat eater, and I don't, pretend that I'm not. I really like meat, but I also have a metabolism, general digestive system, my biochemical individuality. It seems to be well suited for, for red meat in general, animal protein consumption. That's not the case for all people. I was just tweeting about this. Different populations, depending upon ethnicity, have different propensities for what they can digest and digest well, and how it affects their health. I've noticed as of late that it seems like a lot of the keto dieters, or the very low carb dieters, they all seem to be white Northern Europeans, or of Northern European ancestry. That's a general trend. I haven't really seen too many sub-Saharan, sub-Saharan African ancestry individuals that are, pushing a red meat, all meat diet. Doesn't seem to be the case. And this is not to racialize it and bring identity politics into it, but I'm just speaking to the fact that the reality of human beings is that there are different ethnicities. Different ethnicities have different health issues, different health factors, different characteristics of themselves, and that's going to inform what their optimal diet is. So whether you want to try veganism or not, or you want to try, keto dieting or not, take that into account that, maybe it'll work for you, maybe it won't. Maybe you're in the mix in between. Maybe it's not something that's ever going to work out. Being vegan can be healthy, yes. Can be unhealthy, absolutely. But that also goes for all diets. Anything can be taken to a place where it negatively, affects you, and anything can be made detrimental. That's why, again, why I don't endorse like the keto dieting, the all protein dieting. Maybe that works for some people, but there's no way in hell I can get behind that and say that, oh yes, this is how everybody should be eating. But in the same vein, however, there's also the same reason why I would not get behind, a lacto-ovo diet, or a vegetarian diet, or a vegan diet, XYZ. This is why I don't make myself a, proponent or a, promoter of dietary dogma in general, or specific dietary design. There's lots of ways to be healthy. There's lots of ways to eat. What is best suited for any one person depends upon that person. So that's my take on veganism. Can it be good for you? Yes. Can it be bad for you? Yes. What determines that? Yourself. I just don't trust the American meat producers too much. E. coli. Yeah, there's also the ethical standpoint. If you don't want to eat animals, you feel, morally uncomfortable, or, let's just say cognitively dissonant in eating things that have been killed. I understand why you'd want to be vegan. There's nothing wrong with that. How can it be bad? Because it can create nutritional deficiencies, and I have, having met people that are vegan vegetarian, I have seen many of them where they're just not that healthy. They don't really get enough protein intake in. I think they're probably deficient in the various spectrum of micronutrients. And you can be a vegan and eat nothing but potato chips and protein bars, or I guess gluten-free vegan protein bars. Like I said, it can be made unhealthy. Having lived in LA for a period of time, I've seen, I've met a lot of vegans where they're not that healthy. I've also met vegans that are very healthy, so it's a spectrum. Hey bro, back, I guess. What's up? Any comments on that, guys? Is eating pizza bad? No. It can be bad if you, overconsume it, and your general diet goes to shit because you eat pizza. Pizza and beer drinking, I guess. I wouldn't say pizza is bad unto itself. Maybe it's not the most optimal food for health, but depends on how much you eat. Anything else, people? Yes, no, maybe so. I've noticed hair thinning with vegans, vegetarian women is that a thing. Yeah, yeah, like I said, that's one of the things why I don't endorse a vegan diet. Vegan diets can oftentimes end up being very low protein intake. I am a proponent of higher protein intake, just because I've seen it positively impact people's health many times. I think a lot of people are, maybe not protein deficient, but they eat low quality protein. For vegans, especially for women where they just end up consuming just nothing but carbs, if you're a female and you're not consuming enough protein, your hair, skin, and nail health is going to be negatively affected. That's probably where the thinning hair comes from. The general lack of muscularity, muscular atrophy, lack of muscle tone. Red meat, good or bad? Depends. Depends on the quality of the meat, depends upon your own individual phenotype. Like I said, for some populations, I don't think red meat is that good to consume. For some ethnicities, some, not all, depends on yourself. There obviously has been a lot of research that shows excess red meat consumption, or research that shows that free radical, overly cooked meat consumption can be bad because the proteins have been denatured, etc., etc. Some vegans claim all heated dairy is carcinogenic. They say that proves you shouldn't. Guys, that's a bunch of, that's an example of bullshittery. To make a word there, but that's bullshit. Anything can be carcinogenic if it's overcooked, overconsumed, etc. Plants can have plant consumption can have a lot of carcinogenic side effects. Plants themselves are not necessarily, evolved, so to speak, to be eaten in the first place. So, to, I guess, flip that on itself, not to pull a whataboutism, but, can meat be carcinogenic? Yes. Can plants be carcinogenic? Yes. Can certain kinds of carbs be carcinogenic? Yes. That's not a good argument. It's not that simple to narrow it down to a single proposition. Is it true dairy is not good for the body? Again, that depends, guys. Individual food groups, it depends upon yourself. Depends upon what the source of dairy is. So, there's two aspects to that. How do you digest it? Is it low quality dairy? So what does that say about plant-based diets? I don't know if it says anything. It just speaks to the fact that you need an informed perspective. You can't narrow these things down to singular yes-no statements. Is this bad? Is this good? It's not that simple. Nutrition is not that simple. Human health is not that simple. Is it bad to not eat food? Yeah, if you don't eat food, you'll die. Yes, that's bad. Greek yogurt. What about it? Again, maybe you digest Greek yogurt well, maybe you don't. You have to try it and see. Your own biofeedback informs your diet more than anything else. The criteria I always give to people, which if you were on the email list, you've gotten this before, but how does this digest? What are your energy levels like after eating it? How do you feel a few hours later? When you go to the bathroom later and and defecate, are you having like solid stool? Or are you having diarrhea? If something upsets your stomach, makes you tired, sleepy, you feel like it maybe makes your skin break out, and later on you're sitting on the toilet regretting it, probably shouldn't be eating it. How bad is it to eat at night if you're trying to lose weight? It's not. Again, that's context, dude. It's not bad to eat at night. If you're over-consuming food at night, and that's negating your attempts to lose weight, then that is bad. So, energy consumption. Any kind of diet can work, hypothetically, so long as it creates a calorie deficit. Information overload got people scared. Well, yeah, it's information overload. It's just also the factor that most people do not have the foundational knowledge to, categorize and make sense of the information. If you're thinking in absolutes and you have no, capacity for understanding nuance, and you have no contextual background knowledge to even process the information that you're getting, then everything's fucking confusing. And the general mode of thinking for the majority of people is just that you either believe it or you don't believe it. Everything's belief based. So, which is normal. That's okay. That's how we think. But for things that are complicated subjects, that's it's a very reductionist, vastly oversimplified way to think. So it's not going to work out. Meth will make you lose weight. Yes, it will. Can you tell me what you eat for breakfast? I tend to just have coffee a lot. Does your brown rice versus white rice also apply to wheat versus white bread? Belief is the absence of knowledge. No, belief is not the absence of knowledge. Knowledge reinforces belief. If you have a foundation of knowledge, then you can have very concrete beliefs, and those beliefs will be predicated by, you know, not a priori, but they'll be predicated by what you've learned and what you've come to know. You know, sound bites, you know, what I call sound bite thinking, where you believe in a statement. That is absence of knowledge. If you believe in something that's by the sake of a sentence, to use something that's, you know, political, I believe guns are bad. Okay, that's just a statement. What backs that up? You know, three things are also just singular statements. Not necessarily. I'm not going to get into that discussion, dude. You know what I mean. Someone asked a question that I just completely forgot. What to eat for breakfast? Yeah, coffee. There's something that came before that. Oh, the white bread versus wheat bread. You know, white versus wheat bread. You know, my whole point of the white rice versus brown rice was that brown rice is just it's a mythologized health food that's super good for you. There's no real advantages to it, and white rice gets unnecessarily demonized. White bread into itself, I don't think white bread's that healthy. Is it bad for you? Probably not, honestly. But again, it comes down to how you consume it. Let's be generic. If you're eating wheat bread, whole grain bread, you're probably trying to make better health choices. If all you fucking eat is Wonder Bread, people that eat Wonder Bread tend to eat pretty fucking unhealthy. Yeah, generally speaking. Yeah, I'm speaking in journalisms here. Obviously, you can create fucking exceptions to every situation. Laughing at Wonder Bread. Yeah, people eat Wonder Bread. Yeah, like Wonder Bread, I don't know. The clients I've had where they actually consume Wonder Bread, they always eat like shit. It's just a general trend. I mean, fuck, go to the market, go to Walmart, go to a super Walmart. Look at the people that fucking buy Wonder Bread. Liberals live in talking points, one sentences. Yeah, I think everyone, kind of the population at large, lives in talking points, one sentences. I would say that, you know, again, generally speaking, it seems that the right or conservatives, quote unquote, there seems to be more propensity to think things through a bit more. But, you know, even that is, yeah, maybe I'm giving them too much credit. But, you know, at the extreme left-end wing of liberalism, you know, the far, far left, there is no thinking at that point. You're just fucking an actor for a very, you know, emotional belief that has basically pitted you against the entire fucking world. Which, you know, there's a reason why those people are fucking miserable and in hell. And always fucking crying. What's your advice for someone trying to lose fat and gain muscle on a vegan diet? Same advice I give anyone else on any given diet. You need to lift weights, probably do some cardio to improve your cardiovascular conditioning, get adequate protein intake in. Whether you will lose fat and gain muscle at the same time depends upon your starting body composition, you know, your state of training. You know, if you're a novice, you know, intermediate, beginner, again, depending upon your genetics. So there's no different. It's not any different advice. You're getting your food sources from vegan sources. Beginner to novice. You might have a beginner effect where you drop body fat and gain muscle at the same time. That tends to happen a lot. It tends to happen to almost everybody, honestly. Unless you have really this terrible genetics. But if you have reasonably average genetics and you start lifting weights and eating, let's just say, healthy with, you know, healthy carb sources, enough protein, enough fat, you'll probably drop some body fat if you have a bit of excess, and then you'll gain muscle at the same time. Like I said, that happens with almost all novices that take their training, you know, eating seriously. If you need to wonder if Wonder Bread is bad, LOL, come on. You know, you say that, dude, I agree with you, but for some things, like, you'd be amazed at what is not obvious to people. More cardio than weights, more weights than cardio, or healthy balance. That's a balance. You need cardiovascular conditioning, because if I choke you right now, you'll fucking die from lack of oxygen. Your body runs on oxygen. So obviously you need to have cardio. That's fucking so axiomatic, I can't even express it. At the same time, gravity is in effect 24/7. If you don't have muscle, then gravity's gonna fucking kill you. You know, I love to say that because it's true. If you don't have muscle, gravity will fucking destroy your life. It will fucking make your balls drop, make your tits sag, make your bones break, grind away all your fucking collagen and all of your joints. And, you know, on a basis of just general mobility, walking around, you know, living, as you get older, you're gonna be in a goddamn wheelchair. So you should probably build some muscle mass so you're not fucking suffering the last 2 decades of your life. Bro, how did you learn so much about nutrition? Self-study, man. If you want to know something, you study it. What about diarrhea? What about it? I don't know if that's a serious question or just a vague thoughts question, which I still don't understand how thoughts is a question. but I get asked for thoughts constantly, so I attempt to answer it. Anything else, guys? While you're thinking about that, what's your take on What the Health? That was a gob shit documentary that used fucking dogma, jargon, and just basically outright fucking lies to make a point. The fact that people believe it just speaks to how fucking stupid human beings are, honestly. That's my take on it. I actually did watch it, and it was just one of those things that if, as someone that's a practitioner, educated, you're literally just shaking your fucking head realizing that someone's going to watch this, take everything in it seriously, and believe that it's good evidence. Are you working on any new material books? Yes. Yeah, the book that will be coming out in December, for those of you that are interested, it'll be the first like nicely formatted paperback book I'll have published. It will be an actual book. It's not going to be an e-book. It'll be a pragmatic truths to live by. The title is, I'm still narrowing down the title, but it'll essentially be 50 expanded upon axioms of just, the brutality of reality, as I like to say, to use that phrase, and why you should live by those principles. So I'll probably start advertising it more later in this month as it gets close to being done. One claim that was made was that one egg is as bad for you. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, one egg is as bad as 5 cigarettes. To say that, you have to be so far off the deep end of just believing in bullshit. I can't really say my opinion on it. It's just fucking categorically, it's fractally wrong. Let's say it that way. It is fractally fucking wrong. Yeah, we live in an age now where information, we live in an age where everything can be made into truth because enough people say it, then it's true. But the reality is that there is right and wrong in the world. There is yes and no. There is false and not false. It seemed like the whole documentary was propaganda. It was just very well done propaganda. That's what it was. Yeah, and it wasn't even good propaganda. It was bullshit propaganda. You could have made a documentary on veganism that, if I watch a good documentary on, let's say dogmatic but promotes health and, has a biased but fair view of the evidence, I would say, it was good. That just wasn't good. The whole thing just used fractally fucking wrong lies the entire time. If you know how propaganda works, you can lie about fucking anything and people will believe it. It's not hard to do. It's not hard at all. I could fucking spit out and fucking enough charts and graphs, and you use enough big words, and you guys buy everything I fucking say because I present myself as an authority figure and you trust me, and it could all be bullshit. Stretching, what do you recommend for soft tissue? That completely varies based upon someone's need state. I don't have again, that's not a quick answer. There's no answer I can give to that. You need, for functional joints, for functional, for just fucking being a well-functioning body, unto itself, you need to have healthy range of motion. You need to have fully functional, musculoskeletal, relationships, if you want to say that way. Yeah, in regards to what you need to do for the stretch, well, you probably need to lift fucking weights. If you have tight hips and, you have tight shoulders and this and that, well, your general tonicity for your body is going to be dependent upon your activity and how much you move each day and the range of movement that you do. For a lot of people, that's extremely limited now in modern society, so they end up needing a lot of stretching corrective work, if you want to call it that. As to what you need on an individual basis, I have no fucking idea. That you need to figure that out. I would need to assess you. The reason why I don't talk about stretching that often is because it completely fucking varies. Everybody fucks it up. And, generally speaking, everyone needs the same shit. You probably have bad posture, you probably have tight hips, you probably can't squat, you probably can't stand up straight. Your whole posterior chain needs to be strengthened, your hips need to be stretched out, you need to fucking do some squats and lunges. You need to do some upper back work, you need to learn how to fucking stand and, breathe deep into your lungs. That's what most of you need. What exercise and all that shit, fucking do your investigation, guys. Stretching is just a subject where it gets both simple and it's also complicated and it's pedantic to talk about past a certain point. If you know you are stiff and tight, then fucking fix it. How does one weed through all the bullshit out there when it comes to health and fitness? Good question. the weeding through, you have to think about things contextually. You have to have multiple modes of thinking. Meaning that you cannot assume that things are just one way. You cannot assume that there are singular answers. You have to have the ability to filter through evidence. You have to have the background knowledge of some basic human biology to understand how your body works. That into itself would save people a lot of time. If everyone, in a society-wide scale took like a human bio 101 class where you learned how your muscles work, you learned how your heart works, you learned how your digestive system works. If you know that stuff, then nutrition and exercise is not that complicated. If you know none of that stuff, then you will fucking fall for anything, because everything can sound true. So if you have that background knowledge and you assume that there is a multiplicity of perspective, and you're willing to categorize things and weigh them out and understand that there's individuality to recommendations and what you should be doing, then things will make sense. If you don't think that way at all, and you're like, fuck, I don't know any of that stuff, I don't know anything, well, when you know nothing, then, like I said, anything can be the truth. What do you think of veganism? We already answered that question at the beginning of the Periscope. Any other questions, guys? Thank you for the response. You're welcome. I'm going to cut this one off. Good talking to you all. Be smart, educate yourselves, be autodidactic, self-study. Self-study, ladies and gentlemen, that's the key.